I've grown in the north for over 50 years, and I can tell you that the Hausa people I used to know way back are not exactly the same Hausa people I know today. The Hausa people I know way back are very, very hospitable, very, very welcoming. They will take you in. In fact, they will look beyond what tribe or what religion you belong to and take care of you. So what happened? What changed? What simply changed was that, or is that, I have never seen a people that are captive and yet told to remain captive because of a religion that was twisted and handed back to them. And that is Islam. The type of Islam the Hausa people practiced before the Fulani imams came is very different from the Islam they are practicing today. Now, what they don't know, the Hausa people, is that while they ask them to hate and see those that are not their friend, those that they should not do with, those that they should not, confraternize with, they are actually exorcising or excluding themselves from the population that ordinarily will protect them from their hidden adversaries. That is why today the Hausas claim they are wiser now, that they are now wise to see the deceive or the deception of the Fulanis. But are they really wiser now? These are the people that were told that Nigeria say Malang. That means Nigeria must be ruled by a Muslim cleric or a Muslim. But when it comes to the actual ruling, the Fulanis will tell them that, look, it is a Fulani. How did the Hausa man get to the point of where all the governors in the north are Fulanis? All the leaders, all the emirs, every leadership institution in the north today is controlled by the Fulanis. Yet, when it comes to elective position, the Hausas will join hands and reinstate their silent oppressors, their silent captors. The Hausa mystery or the Hausa story is one of the biggest or the largest or the most complicated history that should be included in our curriculum. The Hausa, for me, is one tribe that has remained captive and have decided to remain captive by practicing the type of religion that has been twisted and handed back to them. Because when I'm with some people and people keep telling them, that's my enemy, and I help them to fight this enemy, I help them to fight that enemy. Before you know it, I've driven people away from me, leaving me alone with those who are good at pointing my enemies to me. At the end of the day, they realize that I'm just alone with them. Then they turn the barrel of their gun to me, or they turn the tip of their knife or sword to me, and I become vulnerable to them. The Hausa people are one people who have replaced their tribe. Before Islam came to the north, the Hausa people had tradition. They had a tribe. They had a way of life. But some people came and replaced all this with religion. And the type of religion that it was replaced with is a religion that gradually excludes them from other people, leaving them vulnerable to their real enemy, who pretends to them that, look, we are with you, but in governorship, I'll be your governor. In emirship, I'll be your emir. In councillor, in community head, I will head you. That's why they want to head Zango Kataf. That's why they want to head every single community in the north. That is gradually being met with high resistance. What is happening today is pure agenda of control. The Hausas have been conquered. Now they've realized they've been conquered. They want to fight back. Is it too late? Is it not too late? Well, for me, I think the only way they can make it not to become too late is if they begin to accept those that the Fulanis told them that they are enemies. For instance, the Igbos, the Yorubas, the Arenes, the Kafris, all those you've labeled as unbelievers and infidels. Start accepting them back. Start forming alliances with them. That is the first step into liberating yourselves from this captive. Otherwise, I tell you, the Hausas are one of the best humans in Nigeria, the best human beings on earth, but they've been captured and weaved into the cocoon of a disastrous retrogressive practice of Islam.
This man, Danfodio, in my entire life, I will never pray to have this kind of fight. Many centuries ago, this man was welcomed to Nigeria, the northern part of Nigeria, when Nigeria was not called Nigerian then. So northern people welcome him because northern people are good people. They welcome visitors. Northern people are people that love their culture so much and love their religion so much. Danfodio pretend to embrace their culture. And so this is how this man called Danfodio was able to penetrate the Hausa people. So he started introducing some stuff that are not in Quran because northern believe he knows Quran so much. And the northern people believe him because he's a foreigner. So they believe they can learn from each other. Not knowing that this man was the biggest pretender in the whole world and he was there to take over their land. So he started from conquering all the northern emir and he put in his son called Serikis today. So his agenda of taking over the nation of Nigeria is that conquering empire and kingdom. Because Nigeria was not known as Nigeria then. We have empire and kingdom then. And some of the kingdom he conquered today was Ilorin. Ilorin belonged to Yoruba people, but this Danfodio took it from them. So he did not stop there. He pushed the agenda to the middle belt part of Nigeria called Benue State today. So that is where he meet his match and meet his death. So the thief people in Benue State deal with this man and his armies. In my entire life, I've never seen someone as fake as this guy. He lied too much. He lied about Quran. He lied to his people about land that did not belong to him. Until date, his children is still praising him for what he did, the atrocity he committed in Nigeria.
Amidst high tension in northern Nigeria, Hausa people are protesting, claiming ethnic cleansing and genocide against Hausa people in northern Nigeria. According to the petitioners, they've said that Hausa people have become a target of elimination by armed military groups and several terrorist groups operating in northern Nigeria. They've even said that there is a genocide ongoing against Hausa people, where Hausa villages have been sacked, destroyed, burned down, and mass raping of Hausa people and mass killing of a lot of Hausa people across northern Nigeria. They are calling on UN and other world governments and government officials to come to their aid, to come to the aid of Hausa people who have now been displaced from their ancestral home and some of their villages claimed by armed military groups and bandits and terrorists operating in northern Nigeria. Anyway, Sha, my heart goes out to Hausa people.
Fulanis conquered Harbi, which can call the Hausa state. They were conquered through jihad. The people saw the emir as someone who had a divine right to govern. What does that imply? The emir say come, you come. He say go, you go. You don't question. So now, the Hausas and the Fulani pre-colonial days were very, very centralized political system of government. Now, the people were paying taxation before the white men came. They were paying taxes, okay, to the authorities that were instituted at that point in time. So the Yoruba pre-colonial days was also politically centralized because there were checks and balance. The Oyomesi checkmate the exercises of the Alafin, and the Oboiko fraternity checkmate the exercises of the Oyomesis. So it was centralized. So the people were paying tribute to the Alafin. History claimed that the Alafin was seen only once in a year. Okay, so you see, Lord Lugard also enjoyed himself in the West. So let's go to the Igbo pre-colonial days. The Igbo pre-colonial administration was never centralized. It was a fragmented political system of government, meaning that power and authority was shared among the people. Alright? The Igbo society was called an Archifedial society, meaning that there was what was called a direct democracy. The Igbos participated in direct democracy. The people participated in the government themselves. That's why the Igbos pride that they are the ones that taught the world democracy and not the Greeks. And if you check well, there's an element of truth in it. Now listen, let me tell you something. The head of the Igbo pre-colonial days was the Okpara. The Okpara. Now you had the Ofo title holders and also title holders. You had the 8th grade, which were like the army, and you had the Umuada. The Igbos are always giving voice to women. So don't mind anybody saying the Igbos don't respect women. And now listen. Each family had an or 4 title holders. Each of family have 4 title holders. The oldest of that of 4 title holders is who becomes the Okpara. The 4 title holders makes up the council of elders. The oldest of them becomes the Okpara. Now the Okpara preside over the meeting in the council, but the Okpara cannot tell them what to do. He can't tell them what to do. So when Lord Lugard came, he thought it was like a free ride in the north or in the southwest. So when he held the Okpara responsible, the Okpara called the people and said, hey, you are going to be paying tax. The Igbo said, no, we can't pay tax. The sun is ours. The water is ours. Why can't we pay to a white man? All right. And now Lord Lugard was so terrified and he said, why come these people do not respect their leaders? How come these people have a mind of their own? Okay, so the Igbos participated directly in government. So indirect rule never worked in the southeast. It never worked because they, unlike northerners, did not see their leader as someone who had a divine right to govern. They saw him as a man themselves, someone who can be influenced, someone who can change their mind. How was laws made in the Igbo pre-colonial days? The Council of Elders can make laws. The 8th grade can also make law and the Council of Elders will accept it. So far, it within the frame of the core transition of the people. Do you understand? So now, Lord Lugard could not enjoy themselves. That is why about women riots still remain one of the highest riots in West Africa. Because these people were able to revolt. And that was why the white men never liked them. They never enjoyed them. Because these people dared to say, no, we will not be subdued. Listen, I am not trying to present any ethnic group to be more superior or inferior to another. I am telling you what was factual and how it was before. Alright, so we must tell ourselves that we are not one people in this country. We are different people. That's why we try to promote unity in diversity, because we are different nations. We are micro nations trying to create a mega nation. Okay, because the Igbo is a nation, the Hausa Fulani is a nation, the Yoruba is a nation. So we must tell ourselves the truth that we are different people. Only then that we can create the consciousness of tolerating one another.
Northerners are dying every day. Your people are dying every day. But you took matters into your own hand. You made placards to go outside and do a mass protest against Trump's invasion of Nigeria. Again, I repeat, Northerners are dying. Your people are dying, either of insecurity or of extreme hunger. But you took placards to go and protest against Trump's invasion of Nigeria. At this point, I don't think there's anything that I can do to continue defending Northern Nigeria, to continue defending like Northerners, because the more you voice out the more you try to defend them, the more they show you reasons why you should not stick out your neck for them. Our people have a huge problem, a very huge problem, which is not going to get fixed anytime soon. It's very painful to admit, but it is it's so sad to see that this is the reality that we're living in this country. Our people are being killed. Northerners are being killed. We are plagued with insecurity. Mukaɗai muna da Lakurawa, mukaɗai muna da Fulani herdsmen, mukaɗai muna da Boko Haram, mukaɗai muna da bandits. We have so many factions, so many militia factions in northern Nigeria that are actively killing communities in northern Nigeria, not just Christian communities, Muslim communities. They are actively raiding, kidnapping, killing communities in Nigeria. And one sheikh is saying they are misunderstood. These bandits are misunderstood victims and we should sit down and negotiate with them. While the other faction of the Northerners are out protesting against Trump's invasion, instead of going and channeling that energy towards demanding your government to protect its people so that Trump will not have a reason or an excuse to invade you people. You are... And let me just say this. This is going to piss off a lot of Northerners, but again, I've never been known to care. In a sane community, in a sane society, in a sane country, the treatment that Albani got would have been the exact same treatment that Sheikh Gumi is supposed to be getting from the Nigerian government. Because that man is openly sympathizing with terrorists, is openly calling for negotiation with terrorists. I don't know how negotiating with terrorists is a good thing, but our governments are known to be negotiators with terrorists, so that's not really something that's surprising. Especially given the fact that his values align with their own value, because sympathize with the terrorists, say they are misunderstood, rehabilitate them, and reintegrate them back into society. How can I sit down as a northerner with anybody that sits down with, common sense and, a critical sense of reasoning? How would you sit down and defend things like this? How would you start defending things like this? Misunderstood victims. I'm actually tired. I am so tired, because what's the solution? Where do we go from here? What's the solution? Because we have a government that is willingly negotiating with terrorists and openly sympathizing with them and rehabilitating them, while hundreds of innocent people keep dying every day by the hands of the same people that they are saying are misunderstood victims. Justice in Nigeria is a myth. It's a big myth.
Barka ku dai ‘yan uwa Hausawa farko da sauran ƙabilu wanda suke tare da mu wai ba tare da mu ba akan zaman mugunta ba, wanda suke tuntuni tun kakanni da kakanni suke tare da mu. To ka bar dibin kanka, kai karaman kabila ce. Mu ‘ya'yan Hausawa muna ganin ka da mutunci da ƙima a idanuwanmu. Kuma na biyu, ina roƙon duk wani mai jin harshen Hausa, ba laifi ba ne ba don ka koyi harshen Hausa. Muna alfahari domin idan ka koyi harshen Hausa, don amma kai ba Bahaushe ba ne ba, koyo kai. Ina ƙaunar duk wani ɗan ƙabila ya riƙe ƙabila te a matsayin ƙabila te, zanganin ƙabila te da daraja da kima. Wanda dai ba ma ƙauna a kullum ko da yaushe su ne jikanyin kafataren ɗan ta'adda ɗan fodiyo, Fulani dai. Fulani a ko'ina cin mutunci da ƙasƙanci wanda suke wa saurin ƙabilu. Da sun sa rigar Hausawa, to yanzu muna faɗakan ma duk wani ƙabila, Bafilatani ka kiyaye da Bafilatani, ko kana da wata hurɗa da Fulani, wannan lokaci ne yayi wanda za ka barin furɗa da Bafilatani, don domin wannan ƙasa kai ɗan asalin ƙasa ne. Bafilatani a koda yoshe iyayensu sun cusa musu baƙin ciki, amma kuma mun fito muna fayyace ma ɗiyansu, amma ko da iyayensu sun aza su akan turba ƙarya. To ku iya ganewa jama'a, al'umma ta Hausawa farko, domin faɗakarwa da sanakarwa da muke yi ba don wai mu ci mutuncin wata ƙabila ba. Ba ma cin mutuncin, amma muna cin ƙaniyar uban duk wani ɗan shegiya ɗan Bafilatana. Don domin Fulani ƙasƙantacci ne, wulaƙantacci ne. Ya kamata a koda yoshe ku shiga tetayinku, ku san darajar ƙabilarku, ku ba ta muhimmanci mai ƙwari, kuma muna tare da ku sauran ƙabilu. Amma Bafilatani tabbas he ya bar ƙasar Hausa. Bafilatani ɗan cirani ne, kuma ‘ya'yan Fulani ba haƙuri za mu ba ku ba. Ku je ku kama a logon iyayenku, ku tambaye su don me ake ci muku mutunci, amma ba ku da tushe, ba ku da asali. Kun sa rigar addini ne iyayenku a duk lokacin matsayin da kun kutse shekara 221 da kun ku zauna a ƙasar Hausa kuna ta'addanci, kun sa rigar addini ne, kuma a filako kuke yi, filako aljannar taku filako mun karyar da ita, don domin lokacin doguwa ne, doguwa kuma yanzu duk Bahaushe muna alfahari da doguwa, komowa doguwa akan Bahaushe a tsafikanmu duka muna alfahari da shi, kuma sauran wani filako, don domin kuna jin filako to dole ne ba filatani idan zai yi gaisuwa sai ya sa filako aljanarsu, to shine ku iya ganewa bayin sauran ƙabilu Fulani filako da suke kira wadda shege ɗan ta'adda tsinanne la'antacce shine Sunusi Lamido, shi a shugaban wannan aljana ta filako. To ya kamata 'yan uwa makota wanda kuke zaune tare da mu ku iya ganewa, idan ku ba ku iya fitowa ku gaya ma Fulani, mu muna iya fitowa mu ci uban Fulani al'ada waje. Da suna tunanin Bahaushe hiya da kawaici, a'a Bahaushe sun yi tsafi ne, sun yi a masallaci ne, a ina ne, a jinjiran Bahaushe su kama su yanka su abin nan, amma yanzu muna godiya da ubangijin gizagije, kuma muna godiya da ubangijin doguwa ki muna.
Hi, welcome back. Could you believe that even these guys called Hausa that we are fighting for, they don't like liberty or don't want liberty for their own self? Because even as we are fighting for them, all of them, they don't want anything like liberty for themselves, because most of them are still under these people, and they never want to leave these people alone. The protest where Bisoki they do recently has shown every one of us that these Hausa people are enjoying Fulani. They're enjoying to be under Fulani, and they're enjoying to be slaves to Fulani. That is why they come out to do this protest against Donald Trump invading this country. Them, they don't know, so okay, this Donald Trump invasion to Nigeria is their own liberties for their own goods. If they know what they are facing, they will never come out to go against anything like Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, because Donald Trump has not said that he's coming to make sure he buy the Hausa's Muslim. That is not what he says. What he says was to come and liberate those people that cannot liberate themselves. That is what he says. So, but many people now are misunderstood what he said and turned it to another thing. So that is why I say that you see these uneducated people like Hausa people, where it's okay, they don't want to listen to what the world are telling them. They will keep suffering until thy kingdom come. Because I never see people where it's okay, they mumu, the way these people mumu. I think they are the most mumuest people in this nation. Why I say that they are the most mumuest people, we say, okay, if you watch this thing to the end, you will see where a lady was explaining about what they normally do in the northern part of Nigeria. You understand that kind of stuff. So that is why I say they are the most mumuest people, in as much as we are using our own energy to make sure we defend them. Those guys, most of them, they don't defend themselves, and they don't want to do it. Although I never meant this one, those one that go to school, you know that, okay, those one among them that go to school, they understand and they know how they've been used by all these guys called Fulanis. Because if you know what everyone here have explained, you know that most of all these guys now are now waking up to make sure they collect their self. But those one, they be okay, they move from inside them. They no go fit make this thing make sense, and they no go fit make this thing dey easy for them in time. So that is why I say that moment they take out the mummest one among them out, that is the moment they will get themselves out of this mess that they are in. Because this mess that they are in it alone. Nobody is there with them. Yoruba, Igbo, and other majority language in this country, no one is suffering it with them, so they are doing it alone. So if they need this or they want to be out of this mess, they should just do it alone and get out of this mess. That is just it. And you hearing this, we know you might have something to let us know concerning what everyone here has explained or have explained. If anything like that, they make it do what you get to talk below. And also, if today is your own first time episode, they can make it like, share, subscribe. Thank you.